Comparison is the thief of joy. Have you ever heard that? Now, I think for guitarists that is especially true because we consistently feel like we're underachieving, especially when we see players online shredding at the speed of light and playing unbelievably beautiful improvised solos that seem annoyingly effortless. It can be quite disheartening, right? Now that's why this interview with guitar legend Philip Sayce was so amazing, because he's got a very special message for any guitarist. It doesn't matter if you're advanced or if you're just starting out. Every guitarist needs to hear what he has to say. And it's going to make you feel a lot better about your own guitar playing and your own expression through the instrument. Now, if you've never heard of Philip Sayce, then you're in for a treat. Philip has had a fantastic solo career, but he's also toured and played with the likes of Jeff Healey. His 2020 album, Spirit Rising, achieved over 131 million streams on Spotify. Now, he was in Glasgow for a gig last week, and my good friend and fellow teacher at Guitar Made Easy, Andy, managed to steal him for an interview. So, enjoy.
This is Andy from Guitar Made Easy, and we're joined tonight with the inimitable Philip Sayce after an electrifying show at the Moor in Glasgow as part of your current European tour. Philip, how are you?
Oh, good, thanks. I feel really good. We had fun tonight. Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah. How's the tour been so far?
It's great. This is the third night of this run, so we're shaking off a little jet lag, but other than that, had a great time. It was a beautiful audience tonight, and such a privilege and pleasure to have the opportunity to perform in Glasgow here at this amazing venue.
Wow,
yeah, great crowd tonight, man. They were like, there was one guy just took his shirt off and threw it at me. I thought he was gonna start a fight, man. He was cool. He was funny.
Glasgow can be a little bit like that.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. Great energy. Such a vibe.
Yeah, this is the third time I've seen you in Glasgow.
This is the third time? Yeah. Oh,
The
right.
Steamroller tour.
We did. That was at. I was just thinking about that venue. That's a great venue too.
The Garage tour.
Oh, that was with Jeff Healey there.
No, I saw you with in the Steamroller tour.
Okay.
Would that be 2012
maybe,
something
or
like that?
13, something in there. Yeah.
So how many more dates do you have left in the tour currently?
Like maybe 7 or 8, something like
Right,
that.
okay, so we're kind of midway, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, we're over here for a couple of weeks, and excited.
So Guitar Made Easy, we have a community of students all over the world,
Okay.
Learning guitar of all different ages, all different kinds of abilities, and we're always trying to find the common threads that run through, playing. Like, I mean, obviously you're a technical monster, and but you're a tone monster, and you can tell that you spend a lot of time on the tones, the sounds, and there's everything's in there, and so our students are influenced by the greats, as they all are. Can you speak a little bit about your influences? I mean, you've got a great album called Influence, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. And I really do care about the music. I care about the architects of this music. Ultimately, I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants, and I'm just extremely grateful to express myself through the vehicle of music during my lifetime. And I love the music, and it's everything to me. It's the truth for me, and the tones are extremely important. Each of my favorite musicians, they have a sort of very, very special and unique sound that's like a fingerprint of their soul. So when we think about Albert Collins, there's nothing like Albert Collins. When he plays, it's game over, lights out. When we listen to, Stevie Ray Vaughan, a lot of us, everybody wants to try to get that sound, but there's no one going to sound or feel like that. There's only one, because that was his heart and his soul, and just like Hendrix, or whether we think about, any great player, Albert King, anybody, I think it's so important to also wear your influences on your sleeve, as if to say, like, hello, like, hey, I'm thinking about you right now. I'm thinking about you, B.B. King. I love you. Thank you. And I'm going to play something because I love you.
And so for people who are struggling when they're practicing and learning, like I say, we have students of many different abilities, and sometimes that becomes problematic for them because they feel like, I'll never achieve that level, I'll never be able to get to, like, how do you balance that striving and worship almost of these idols with your own personal voice? And when you play, it's very obvious it's you coming through, and I think a lot of people are thinking, if I keep practicing, one day, how do you channel that soul, I guess is the word?
Well,
for
I
your
think
own
it's.
playing?
I think the most important thing is to get out of. For me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me to like get out of my head and into my heart. That's the most important thing. Not to think about it, just to play and try to express things that I'm feeling. Because and just like any guitarist, I don't like to look at musicianship as the Olympics. I don't like to see guitar or singing or anything in music as a competition. It's a turnoff for me. When I see somebody who's just playing whatever they want to play because they love it and they feel it in the moment, to me that's every bit as valid as somebody who can play at the speed of light, every note, every scale all at once. That's beautiful. I respect that too. But I'm really moved by authenticity, vulnerability in music, an opportunity to open your heart and say like, hey, you know what? I went through this tough thing and I'm going to tell the story through my playing. It's not about how many notes, or it's not about even necessarily technique. It's about tapping into something that is greater, than me, than us, the creator, and trying to tap into that and find the truth in that and be vulnerable in that and play the music because you love it.
Yeah. So beautiful. So when people are sitting down to practice,
Yeah.
in their head, because like you say, it's the head, the heart, they're filled with these thoughts of,
Yeah.
am I good enough? Imposter syndrome is common
Right,
with
right,
students. How do you have a piece of advice where you could say, if you're sitting down with a guitar, yes, you will get better, yes, you can practice, but today with the guitar, it's hard to put into words, right? But how can they channel, how can they get closer to that?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that are really important to me and what's coming up when you're asking this question, which is a great question. And one of them is that I would say to someone, there's only one of you in this world. There's only one of you, and there's only one person that thinks like you, that feels like you, that experiences the world like you do. So that's one thing. And everything that you have to say is every bit as valid as what anybody else has to say. It's not about being more than, it's not about being less than. Just remembering that we're all breathing the same air and we all have to go when it's time for us to go. You know what I mean? So just play from your heart. There's only one of you and it's valid. Everything you have to say and everything you feel is valid. And the other piece is practice. Practice all the time. Take the guitar to the bathroom. If you're going to go take a shit, have a guitar in the bathroom, instead of being on your phone and looking at social media and then feeling bad about yourself. Fuck that shit. Put that away. Get the guitar and play for 5 or 10 minutes and work on that thing you've been wanting to get, or if you're sitting in front of the TV watching the game, cool, while I'm watching the game, you could be on your phone, put that phone down and just get up and start playing. Just play in front of the TV, play. Like when we think about our heroes, you think about stories about Jimi Hendrix. Apparently, he always had the guitar with him, always. And he was the best there ever was. So, if he had to practice all the time, then I think we all have to practice all the time. And, do it because you love it. Put the love into it. But I think it's a combination of those things. It's not about it's not the Olympics of guitar. It's not the Olympics of music. Who's to say what you feel is any less than what somebody else feels? It's not. It's every bit as valid. And just wear your heart in it and do it because you love it.
And that's the thing, right? It's like what you're saying right now. These are life lessons. And would you agree then that music, people say music is life, or, music is deeper, or how important is it for anybody getting into music or playing music to recognise that music doesn't exist in a guitar it comes from, how important is it for people to honour and recognise. I guess it goes back to like you say, the architects. How important is it for people to recognise that history, that the vocabulary, you could almost say, of music, and how it goes beyond the instrument, as it were?
Yeah, well, I think, music, when it comes from the heart and is connected to the soul, if you're asking me, my opinion on it is it's a timeless thing. It's not about being a commodity, or trying to get a certain number of streams, or so you can brag and say, I got 2 million streams. It's like, good for you, like, whatever. I think if you're going to be serious, like the people we're talking about, they were in another zone when they were playing. Like maybe we weren't there in person to see Stevie Ray Vaughan. I never saw Stevie. I did see Albert Collins once. I got to see Jeff Healey a lot of times. And when he was in the zone, or these players are in the zone, it's timeless. When you see Bob Marley in the zone, right? It's like, man, I've got goosebumps just thinking about that. That's the thing.
How did you feel when you started playing with Jeff Healey? in regards to what we've just said.
I mean, I was crying at some shows. It was so heavy. It was so beautiful. And he was really like the most beautiful example of how real it could be when somebody's in the zone, in the moment, channeling something from a higher power, and it was effortless. It was like a waterfall just coming through him, and the way he would improvise, it was musical, it was funny, it was scary, it was powerful,
Did that mark was there a line in the sand after that experience for you, in terms of how you felt about your own playing?
Well, I think, I'll be practicing for the rest of my life just to try to play one note that was like Jeff Healey. So it definitely, he definitely spurred me on to know that I've got a lifetime of practice to do. He's definitely increased my hunger for that.
So what's next?
Well, bedtime, but I try to get over this jet lag, and then we drive to Manchester tomorrow morning, and then we play Manchester Monday. We've got some shows this week, which I'm looking forward to. When we get back home to Los Angeles, I'm about halfway through a new album, which I'm really excited about. But I think we might release the songs as like a series of singles, just because that's the way the world is. It's like ingesting singles as opposed to full album. And so I think we'll do that and ultimately lead up to a new album.
Does touring and seeing the world and getting these new experiences, does this inform your writing process for the next batch of music?
Oh, of course. I mean, having an experience like tonight here in Glasgow is hugely inspiring. I feel super moved and charged by it. Having this chat with you right now, I feel so grateful and honored. And I feel like all of this is part of the ingredients that go into being creative. When I'm sitting down and playing at home and might come up with a riff, this will inform that. These experiences definitely are the ingredients that go into informing new music. So when you try new food, when you listen to new music, when you go to a new country or whatever, all of that enriches the life process, which then enriches the creative process, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If there's one piece of music you could give of your own music that you would recommend for our viewers right now to check out that feels very close to your heart, what would you recommend?
Oh man, like sort of like the most authentic and there's a song on an album called Peace Machine that's called the song is called Dream Away, and that's a song that I wrote with a friend of mine. We've been talking about him on the road this week. A great songwriter named Marty Fredrickson, and we wrote that on my first trip to Los Angeles. He invited me down. We wrote a bunch of songs, and that song just kind of encapsulates just all of that, the excitement of the time, the emotion, and just the freedom of music. There's no rules. So I would say check out Dream Away.
Check out Dream Away.
Yeah.
Philip, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me
Looking
on,
forward to the
man.
next time.
We're going to do more. I'll see you soon, okay?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now that was absolutely fantastic, guys, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that myself. I hope you did as well. Now, if you would like to see Andy have any more interviews with guitar legends like Philip Sayce, let us know in the comments and we'll try and make it happen. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.